Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I'm going to go in a little bit more in depth on Tuzigoot National Monument and Montezuma's castle. I touched on both of these a little bit in my last video on things to do in Sedona. So this area was actually occupied by the Sinagua people and the Hohokam. If you head into the museum, which is around $10 a person, you're going to find some fascinating artifacts that will help you get to know the culture of these ancient tribes. In 1867, this area was just a big pile of rocks until they came in and carefully excavated it from 1867 to 1953. So the rocks in this whole area is very well preserved. Tuzigoot covers over 42 acres and has 110 rooms included in this second story and third story structure that rises 120 feet above the Verde Valley. The pots in the museum indicate that the Sinagua people were traders with a wide network of communities that would trade with agricultural produce. They used to grow corn, beans, squash, and cotton using a complex and intricate irrigation system, sometimes ones that elephants could walk through. They hunted rabbit, deer, antelope, bear, muskrat, and duck. They even mined a small salt deposit. They were quite a sophisticated society. I'm always fascinated by these cultures and societies of the desert because the desert is such a difficult place to survive in. And yet they found a way. They found a way to make medicine and even perfume. They dyed wools. They made beautiful paintings. They traded with people along the coastal regions and would tie shells to their garments so that when they would walk, they would make beautiful noises with the shells. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about who these people were. When I explore these places, I always like to think about myself in their time period of what it would have been like to have to go out and gather everything that we would eat for the family and go to the nearby river and catch everything that we needed. The rains, the heat, and how we would survive, and even sickness or infection or, tribes that would come and try to start fights. Like, how would you protect yourself? And the fact that they were able to do all of this and survive for such a long time, it just really humbles me. Tuzigoot in Apache actually means crooked waters because of the nearby river that flowed through the area, and you can see it from the top of the structure. The building itself was built from the center out, with the oldest parts of the building being from 1000 CE. They stayed here from 1000 CE to 1400 CE. As they grew, so did the structure. What I especially love about Tuzigoot is that you can actually climb all the way to the top of the third story, look out over the valley, and there's a reconstructed home with the beams and everything. So it really is a great place to try to imagine what it would have been like to live in that time period. After spending quite a bit of time at Tuzigoot National Monument, we were on our way to Montezuma's Well and Montezuma's Castle. So we're out here at Montezuma's Well, and right along the way, you will see a little sign that says Pit House Ruin. So this is what we're going to go see first, and then on to Montezuma's Well and Montezuma's Castle. One of 4 in the area, this pit house dates to about 1050 CE. Several families may have lived here, or more likely, it was used as a community structure. It resembles a lot of the Hohokam culture houses near modern-day Phoenix, which may hint that they were also traders and had relationships with people living in that area as well. Montezuma's well, that was actually used by the Hohokam to do their irrigation. It has a natural spring, several natural springs actually in the bottom, but it's not a place that you really want to go swimming because it has thousands of freshwater leeches right below the surface. Ew. The cliff dwellings here date from about 1125 to 1400 CE. They estimate that about 100 to 150 people lived here. If you look closely, you can actually see limestone-lined irrigation systems near Montezuma's well. Be sure to take the nature walk, where it walks you through the area and points out very specific plants that they would use to sustain life. Like this wolfberry plant. It was picked when it was bright red, had a sweet juicy berry to it, and it was used in soups and stews and then crushed into water for vitamins and minerals. I was on a road trip with my friend Bree, who was living in Phoenix at the time. Her and her dog Ivy actually got a really special certification while they were there from the sweetest ranger couple I've ever met.
Guys, everybody, meet the newest park ranger. I think she's going to be a wonderful representative. Good girl!
While it's technically not that special, it really is just fun to have people acknowledge that, you know, dogs are important too. Our next stop was on to Montezuma's castle. While I didn't have exactly a ton of time to explore the area, it is definitely worth a stop. This is a 5-story structure that was built by the Southern Sinagua farmers in 1100 to 1300 CE. They did allow people to enter it until about the 1950s, but then they started to vandalize the place, so now everybody's cut off. Needless to say, if you were on a road trip in Arizona, or from Utah to Arizona, or just really in the Southwest, I highly recommend taking time to stop at some of these Native American ruins and destinations and learning just how sophisticated these societies really were. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, share it with a friend, because more the merrier. See you in the next one, y'all. Bye.